one thing, when you're scrubbing on it, you actually cause a scratch.
Yeah.
So over the year, those scratches actually is a place for more dirt and oil to be in. So the same thing, when we exfoliate too hard on your skin, I always get the question from the client, say, how often should I exfoliate? Because, after a while, they exfoliate it, the skin become dull looking.
Well, Colette, you touched on a topic of we need to cleanse out the debris which are in the skin, the bad whatever. And if that isn't done, then the rest will not really work very well. So how does that go? Does a person start it off with a professional like you and then can do something at home, or can he never do it at home? What's the deal there?
Well, it's always good to help a professional to actually help you to jumpstart. So over the year, you did something that caused the skin not repair itself like it used to. Or, of course, with aging, our cell doesn't repair as it used to be. Just like, you fell and you break your bones, right? Of course, you will heal, but you need a surgery to actually line up the bones, right? So then from there, it would heal, because otherwise you might heal crookedly, right? So that is the reason why it's really necessary to come to a professional person to actually help to jumpstart it. And it also helps speeding up the progress. And that's why you are more motivated. And then that's how it makes it easier for you to maintain. So we talked about that before, that for facial, I always recommend a 4-week treatment, 1 week apart. And then we also send you home with the cleansing set and also the skincare set. The cleansing set that we use on our spa is a product from Atomy, which is a Korean product. And Korean, they believe in double cleansing. So they're always using oil-based cleansing first. Mix of oils better. Our bacteria, our sweat, all the dirty is actually oil-based, right? So now we're using oil, then we'll mix together, so it's a lot easier to remove. And then they're using a water-based cleansing, which is a foam cleansing. So we cleanse. That's why by the time you do double cleansing, your skin is super clean. In US, we tend to using a makeup remover to remove the makeup. But all those have a lot of, ingredient that is really gonna dry up your skin. Then we wash really quick with water. And then we, using the toner on the cotton pad, and then we rub more on the face. And we're so happy that we see that there's more dirt and oil and makeup coming out of the pad.
Right.
But that's not the toner job. The toner job is bring back the pH balance. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So there is a combination, like with, as you said, getting your bones set or getting a jumpstart cleaning your teeth. And depends on how bad it is already. You need it a little more heavy, a little less heavy, and then go and do it the right way. Because if you don't do it the right way, you use expensive creams, which are supposed to make the skin good, except those creams don't make it to the root of the skin.
Right.
And actually nothing happens, or very little at least.
Right. So doing the process that when, we're reversing your skin. So one of the things we do is we're exfoliating the skin, right? Just like, if you have a coffee table, a glass table, and then, you haven't washed it for a long time, right? So there's build up, right? So it doesn't look as pretty anymore. So you're using a scrub to scrub it off, to actually remove all the dirt that on top. And of course, after you're scrubbing it, it looks good, right? But one thing, when you're scrubbing on it, you actually cause a scratch.
Yeah.
So over the year, those scratches actually is a place for more dirt and oil to be in. So the same thing, when we exfoliate too hard on your skin. So the old technology, we're using walnut crush and apricot. It's just the texture to actually help to rub off, scrubbing off the dirt and the oil. And when you're doing, your skin looks good, soft. But over the year, if you're doing too much, I always get the question from the client, say, how often should I exfoliate? Because, after a while, they exfoliate it, the skin become dull looking. Right? Because, you over exfoliated. And they all keep asking you how often. Of course, the answer is actually that, you should do it every day. Or depending on your skin type, maybe once every other day, depending if your skin is too sensitive. But you always need to exfoliate your dead skin. But the product we use, we don't use the hard particle. We're using the natural product to actually melting dirt in the oil and melting the black head and the white head up. And that's why that will help, we just don't scrub it down, but we're just, using our tool to actually move it out. At that spot, we don't do extraction either. So a lot of time people expecting the facial, you come in and you're squeezing out all the blackhead and the whitehead would hurt and sometimes damaging the skin. And sometimes people come home, the skin irritated and break out.
So basically, more like, for lack of a better word from my part, you're basically soaking out the dirt with something natural. It might take a little longer, but like everything else, if you use very abrasive detergents for whatever it is you do at home, eventually, whatever it is you use it on will get a little bit bad, whether it's a suit, a shirt, whatever it is, right?
Right. We have a tool that we use at our spa, but we also sell it so the clients can use at home. And it's easy to actually help lifting up and scrub out your blackhead and whitehead, and it's not damaging your skin. But the key is you don't want to be invasive. You want to be that, very gentle on the skin because our skin is a lot smarter than the table, right? But you know that when you scrub so much on the table, the glass is not as shiny as before. Our skin is a little bit smarter. So a lot of time when you do it too much, it bring out more pigmentation. So make it darker because, it just help to protect the skin of get damage. And sometimes it make your pore size larger because, when to make your skin thicker, the system know that you're damaging it. So, you have to make it, thicker to, so you don't have infection or inflammation.
Yeah, I can see that. And again, that's probably like with everything else, even like diabetes or so. On one hand, you do need to create insulin. On the other hand, if you somehow do too much, it creates too much. And then it has side effects because, it gets so tough. And most of the time, you don't really want it tough. You
Right.
want, no, even men like it soft more than, soft.
Yes.
All right, Colette, thank you very much. Very enlightening.